Hey, 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 welcome to You Can Have It All with your girl, Leslie T. Mitchell. And so, y'all know You Can Have It All. We believe that you can live the life of your dreams and your desires, the life that you really truly deserve without settling, y'all. And so, I'm excited to be back with you all. I'm excited to have you back with me on this episode of You Can Have It All. Right. And so, last time we talked about settling. And we got into some deep conversation of, why do we tend to settle in life? What makes us settle? Why do we become complacent? Why do we compromise? Why do we, get comfortable in certain situations? And so, we're going to kind of continue that discussion a little bit tonight as well. Today, whenever you're watching this, it could be, morning, noon, or night, right? We're going to continue that discussion on settling, but we're also going to add a layer to that, right? We're going to be talking about today, who said you couldn't have it all? Who told you that you had to settle? Who told you that you had to be complacent? Who told you that you just had to, accept the life that you currently have right now? And don't get me wrong, you may be living an amazing life, right? You may be living an amazing life, but there may be a part of you who says, you know what? There's more to me than what I have right now. Right? You may have this burning desire to want more, and that's okay. Because a lot of times, people tend to stifle us. People tend to suffocate us, and they can tend to they can almost make us feel guilty for wanting more, for desiring to have more in life. And so, for those of you who may be new to the show, let me just, I jump right on in, and we may have some new family members listen, because on this show we are family. So we may have some new family members, some new cousins that have joining us for the show today. So let me just backtrack really quickly and just tell you a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Leslie T. Mitchell. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm an author. I'm a transformational life coach. I have my own consulting business and training and development. I'm helping so many people get back on track with their finances and their credit. I teach people how to balance their life by building their empire. And we're going to talk about that throughout our journey on this show as well. And so I'm somebody who's really passionate about seeing individuals, people live their best life, about seeing people, win. I'm like people's biggest fan. I love to see people win in the things that they desire to do in life. And so on You Can Have It All, listen, we're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to have some aha moments. We're going to be like, OMG, right? And I always say on my show, I am unapologetically about my belief in God. My faith is paramount. And so, listen, if you don't want to hear me talk about God and how good he is, that baby, this might not be the show for you, but maybe it may be the show for you, right? And so I always just put that out there, because without him, I am nothing. And so I'm totally grateful. It's something that I made with God. No matter what platform I'm on, no matter what I'm doing, I will always give you the glory. And so just know, right, I'm not gonna apologize for that. And so like I said, we're gonna dive back into this conversation of settling. But on top of that, we're going to be talking about who said, right, that you can have it all. Hence the title of this show, You Can Have It All. Meaning you can have the life you truly desire to live without having to compromise, like I said earlier, without having to become complacent, without having to get comfortable where you are. And so if you're somebody who, you're feeling like a little uncomfortable maybe right now, even with me saying that, right? You may be feeling uncomfortable where you are in your career, uncomfortable where you are in your relationships, uncomfortable with where you are in your finances, uncomfortable with where you are in your mindset of who you are as a person, uncomfortable with your weight, uncomfortable, and just any type in your relationship with God or with people. You may just be feeling uncomfortable. There's something uneasy. There's something unsettling, that's happening to you. And so, instead of brushing those things off, right? Embracing that and understanding that there's a change that's needing to take place. And so when we look at our topic, today, kind of, we're going to be talking about, who said, y'all may see me look off because I have some notes, right? Who said you cannot have it all? Who told you that? Right? Who told you that you had to live this life of mediocrity, or this life of being average, or this life of just settling and not having what you truly desire? I want you to understand, guess what? That you can live big. You can think big. You can dream big. You can do big. It doesn't have to be this little small thing. Because guess what? If it's small, then it's not of God, right? And so, you can live, you can be up here, and understand that everyone is not going to be up here with you, and that's okay. We have to begin to look at who told us that we couldn't start that business. Who told us, right, that we couldn't write that book? Who told us that we couldn't start a TV show? Who told us that we could live an abundant life? Who told us these things? Where does it come from? And then again, who are we listening to? Who are we believing? And so, what you have to begin to do is think that, you can have anything that you desire in life. We oftentimes we hear, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. We hear, write the vision, make it plain. We hear, what you can see in your mind's sight, you can have. We hear that so often, but are we really able to visualize those things? Are we putting ourselves in positions to be able to experience the life that we want to have? And so what I mean by that, I remember when I was in corporate America, and I wasn't making six figures yet, right? I was making five figures, right? And I had a desire, right? I knew deep down inside that I'm supposed to be making more money, right? My value is more. And so what did I do, right? I began to surround myself with six-figure earners, because that's where I wanted to be. And so I began to shift my circle, not, leave my circle, right? But I began to shift my circle and be around people that what they had those six figures. And so I needed to surround myself around those individuals. I needed to be in the room. I needed to hear what they were saying, what their thought process was, how they moved throughout their day. I needed to be in that so I could also do it. Right. And so just recently, I'm claiming that I will be a multimillionaire. And it's not about the money per se, but it's going to be about what the money is going to allow me to be able to do. And so what have I did? So what have I done? Right. I begin to now shift into another circle and be around multimillionaires, because again, I need to see how they think. How do they work? What type of work ethic do they have? Like what are the things that they are doing? And so again, we have to begin to shift and move to where we see ourselves going. And so this is going to be interesting, right? So here's another thing. When my husband and I, my kids, we were looking for a new home, and I had this, this home in my head that it was a grand, house, because I believe that God wants us to live exceedingly abundantly all we can think or ask, right? And so I had this grand house in my head. And the interesting thing about this, I almost said crazy, but it wasn't crazy. It's always divine. That a house that I saw, there's a house that my husband saw. We saw the house at two different times. We never told each other about the house until one day we were driving to this neighborhood. And I said, "Oh, let me show you this house that I saw." And my husband said, "Oh, let me show you a house that I saw." Do you know it was the exact same house? And so this house was amazing, right? And so we took our kids and, all those things. And, we knew that this was the house for us. But at the time, we weren't able to get the home. And so after that, we started looking at other houses. And I had found this other house and stuff like that. And so I was so excited about the other house that I had found, because at that time, we couldn't get that house. And I took my kids to the other house. And my son was like, "What? Like, why are you going to sell and get this house? This house is not nearly what we wanted in the other house. So, mom, why are you going to settle? Who told you you couldn't get the other house? And so that's what we have to start thinking, in our head. Who told us that we can't have it all? Right? If it aligns with what God desires, what His Word says for us, why can't we have it all? And so start asking yourself this: is fear holding you back from living the life you desire? Right? Have you not identified, your why you want to do a certain thing? Right? Do you not understand your purpose? It could be that you don't have a strong enough why. Maybe you know your why, but your why is not strong enough. So when obstacles come, when challenges come, when circumstances come, you begin to pull back. You go back into that complacent mode. You go back into that mode of being comfortable. You go back into saying, "This is just too hard for me. Maybe I just don't deserve it. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't need to get that new promotion. It's okay, right? I don't need to increase my income. It's okay, right?" We begin to pull back because maybe our why is not strong enough, or maybe we feel inferior to other people. We can see so many other people who we believe they winning in life, right? Because y'all know social media can trip you up. It can look like people living their best lives on social media, but when they turn that social media camera off, guess what? They're in despair. They have anxiety. They depressed. They have so many different things going on. When that camera turns on, it's like, hey, 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 hey. I can say that because that was me at one time. On the outside, one time, y'all, during my life, and we're going to get to this in some episodes, but for whatever reason, I'm saying it here right now. On the outside, one time a period in my life, it looked like I had it going on. It looked like everything was together. Like, this girl is doing her thing. She is the bomb.com. But on the inside, I was drowning. I needed a life jacket, and nobody knew, because so often we got to live up to being this superwoman syndrome. That's a whole other conversation. But for whatever reason, I'm saying it today just to kind of set the stage, right? And so it led me to my book, The Balancing Act. And now I help and I teach people, how do you truly live a balanced life while building your empire? Again, how can you have it all without having to settle? And so you could be saying, what? I don't just, like I said, I don't deserve it, right? I'm not worthy. I don't. It's not for me. It's for other people. We can high five and go girl, go queen. You doing your thing, but secretly saying, why not me? Why not me? And the question is, yes, why not you? You can have it all. Y'all gonna hear me say this so many times throughout our journey, because I want you to begin to get that in your subconscious thinking. You can live the life you are destined to live. You can live the life of your dreams, whatever that looks like, because guess what? It looks different for everyone. For some people, it's just having a peace of mind. It's not always about those materialistic things that we deem that are successful. And so when I want you to understand, when I say you can have it all, I'm not always talking about money, cars, homes. That's not where my frame of reference is. You can have it all, meaning you can have joy, you can have peace, you can have the relationship that you desire, you can have love, you can have it all without having to feel some type of way, without having to downplay yourself, because I've done that. I've been there. I know what that looks like, where you don't celebrate your wins. Okay. I know what that feels like. And so when I say you can have it all, I want you to understand that you can have the joys of your heart, whatever those things are, and not feel some type of way about it, not worry about what other people think. When you get delivered from what other people think, it's really a way for you to begin to have it all in your life. And so we have to sometimes think about what type of mindset. So on this, listen, we're gonna be talking about mindset. I told y'all we're gonna be talking about mindset, because mindset is so key. Mindset is so key in everything that we do. We have to always start with the right frame of mind. And so you begin to ask yourself, what type of mindset do I have? Do I have a growth mindset, where I believe I can do anything that I desire? Or do I have a fixed mindset where I'm limited, right? Where I limit myself? Are you saying words like I will, I can? Or are you saying things like, let me see, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I don't know, right? So often, things that we speak out of our mouth is so key into our mindset. And I remember, prime example, I'm going to always talk about me. Right? I'm going to always talk about me. But I remember, because I think, I truly believe that when we go through a test for other people, and so when we're able to share our stories with other people, it helps them to be able to, identify things that they may can relate to. And so I can remember a time where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to do that, right? And that word "try" is really a negative word. It's really a word that's saying you're not gonna do it. It's really one of those self-limiting belief words. When you say you're gonna try to get up and exercise, you're gonna try, to go back to school. You're gonna try to lose weight. You're gonna try. You're gonna try. You're gonna try. It really, when you say that word, you're already saying to yourself, maybe not. It might not work out for me. So we have to begin to think about our mindset. Having that growth mindset is saying to yourself, girl, you got this. You say you want to lose 50 pounds? Guess what? Let's go. You can do this. You say you want to work out 3 times a day? Let's go. You got this. You can do this. You say you want to start that business? Let's go. You got this. You say you want to go back and get that certification? Let's go. You got this. You say you want to, write a book? Let's go. You got this. You say you want to do a conference? Let's go. You got this. Having that growth mindset versus having that fixed mindset that says, I don't know. Even if there's a fear, right? Even if there's a fear, you're still doing it regardless. You're doing it in spite of the fear. The fear is pushing you forward and not holding you back. Now that's good, y'all. The fear is pushing you forward and not holding you back. And so you have to ask yourself, when are you going to start living like you can have it all? And when I say you can have it all, again, when are you going to start living like you can have it all? Only you know what you desire in life. Only you know and God. So when are you going to start living like you can have it all? When are you going to go after those things that you desire to have in life? When are you going to start saying yes to yourself and no to other people? When are you going to put you first? Because having a life that you can have it all begins with you. It begins with you. And a lot of times people can make us feel bad for being selfish. And when I mean selfish, I don't mean like, a selfish person where you don't want to help other people, when you don't, it's all about you, But what I mean is, don't allow other people to make you feel some type of way because you're putting yourself first. Y'all don't know when you get on a plane, what the first thing they tell you to do? The flight attendant, they do that little spiel, right? In case of loss of oxygen or cabin pressure goes down, and the mask come down. Who are you supposed to put the mask on first? You. And then you help other people. So the same thing has to happen in your life. You got to begin to put you first in order for you to have this whole life around, have this whole your desired life. You got to know who you are. You got to put you first. You can't have it all and be it all if you're not good with yourself. Meaning, if you're not good physically, spiritually, mentally, financially, like you got to have all of those, those layers at a good place. At a good place. And in my book, The Balancing Act, I kind of talk about that. And we're going to go through that, throughout the journey. You can have it all. Because like I told you, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, right? But, I want you to just begin to think about the life you desire, the life you want to live, those things that you want to do that you have not done yet. Why not? Why not? Because again, you can have it all. I'm going to keep telling you that. You're like, Leslie, girl, you sound like a broken record. That's all you can say is you can have it all. And the reason why I'm saying it so often is because I want you to register that in your thinking. I want you to get that in your subconscious mind that guess what? I can have it all. I can have a dream house. I can have a dream car. I can have a dream relationship. I can have a dream job. I can go on those dream vacations. Whatever that thing that you desire, you can have it. You don't have to settle. You don't have to settle and become complacent and have a life that you don't love, right? To have a life that you're just going through, pretending you're just going through the motions. Y'all know as women how we do. We can put on, honey, a mask, like this makeup. It's a mask, right? We can put our makeup on, put that mask on. We go out smiling, but on the inside, we drown it. No, time out for that. We got to understand, that God has given us, like everything we need is already inside of us. We just got to want it bad enough and not allow other people, which brings me to my next point. So, who's telling you that you can't have it all? Who are you listening to? Who you have in your ear gate? Do you have people around you that's saying, you got this, you can do this, I support you? But here's another thing to that too, right? I'm just going to say this right now. Even if people don't support you, it does not mean that your dreams are less significant, that your goals are less significant, that that what you desire is less significant or not important because people don't support you. People don't have to support you. I'm just gonna, y'all might get mad at me today. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm just gonna clear it up for y'all. It's not people's responsibility to support you. And sometimes we put so much pressure on our family, on our friends to support us in what we're doing, but it's not what they have to do. Their support typically doesn't have any bearing on if you decide to do something, if you decide to go to school, back to school, if you decide to get that certification, if you decide to, get your credit back together, if you decide to purchase it, like people support one way or another. It's up to you. It's your life. And so you have to begin to take accountability, begin to take ownership of your life, of living the life that you desire to have, or living the life that God has desired you to have. Yeah, we may need some help along the way, but they're not obligated. That's what people get hung up on. People get hung up on, well, I'm not going to do my business because nobody going to support me, and none of my family supporting me, none of my friends supporting me, so I'm not going to do my business. Here's a question: ask yourself: are they now paying your bills? You going to work every day and they're not supporting you? So we have to begin again, switching our thinking, switching our mindset when it comes to support. What does support look like? Because people, they got their own stuff going on. So they may not always have time to be trying to support you and help you. And that's okay. Because guess what? You can hire people who can do that. So we're going to be talking about how you can have it all, but you ain't got to do it all. That's going to be coming up. And so, today I just want us to begin to just think through these things, right? Why do we settle? And then who told us that we could not have it all? And why do we allow their opinions to dictate what we do, to stop us in our tracks, to make us become complacent, to have us to second guess ourselves, to compromise all the time, putting everybody else's needs first and putting ours last? Why? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about 3 things. Y'all, listen, we're going to be having homework on this show. Listen, not homework, but, just things I like y'all to think about, right? 3 things that are stopping you from having it all. Only you know those 3 things. Take some time. Think about it. Write it down, right? And begin to peel back the layers. And so before we can go any further, a lot of discussion we're going to be having on this journey. Remember I said, put your seatbelt on, buckle up, because it's going to be a ride. We're going to be challenging ourselves. We're going to be stretching ourselves. And it may be hard, but guess what? It's necessary. Everything you're going through, the process is necessary for you to have the life you desire to have. So until next time, this is your girl, Leslie T. Mitchell. Please share with someone, invite people to watch, the show. You Can Have It All. I'm excited on this journey that we are about to embark on, and just know you can live the life you deserve, but you have to believe it. Until next time, God bless you. Love you, mean it. Deuces. Bye bye.